In wanting to make things happen, we know we must plan for it. We ask the questions, how will we obtain it? How will we get there? And what do we need to do to get there? But before we can answer these questions, we must be able to envision where it is that we're going. Enter goals. Let's jump on into it. Hi, my name is Cam. Hope you have a beautiful day and welcome to OT and Me. So today I want to talk to you guys about goal setting and how we can create goals to better achieve our outcomes. The importance of goals is to have our eyes set on a finishing point, and based off of that finishing point, we are able to create our plan in order to achieve our functional outcomes. So generally speaking, there are two types of goals that you can make, which are short-term goals and long-term goals. Short-term goals tend to have shorter time frames and are geared towards assisting a person into reaching their long-term goals. Short-term goals can be as small as a day to a week, and even as large as a month, depending on what setting you're in. Long-term goals, alternatively, tend to be the endpoint in which we're trying to reach, right? So functional independence, modified independence, whatever the max capacity of a person that we expect to reach is. So you tend to have multiple short-term goals in relation to one long-term goal. For instance, you might have 3 short-term goals to 1 long-term goal. And each of those short-term goals are to work on very specific aspects of that long-term goal that you want to be the finishing product, essentially, right? All right, so there are 4 different goal-setting mechanisms that I want to talk about today. They are essentially a framework for creating good goals, all right? So the first one up on the list is going to be the COAST goal. This is the gold standard of occupational therapy, client-centered goal creation. So COAST, it stands for client-centered, occupation, assist level, specific condition, and timeline. So by following this framework, we're able to create a goal that is client-centered and occupation-based. So I'd like to just go over the 5 parts of this goal. So we have client. So this is taking into account the client themselves, using them and focusing on them and their occupations. Let's say I am the client. My name is Cam, so so Cam would be under this portion. Occupation. What is the occupation that this person is participating in? If you don't know what an occupation is, be sure to check out this link over here. It goes into a brief explanation about what occupations are. Alright, occupation. So what is the occupation that the client is participating in? Is it gardening? Is it dressing? Is it feeding? Is it community mobility? What is the occupation that this person needs to work on? Is it ADLs, IADLs, rest and sleep, whatever it may be? We need to figure out what it is that we want to work on. So let's take, just for funsies, for example, let's just take my occupation of playing basketball, right? I want to, I don't know, say, get better at shooting free throws, because I suck at free throws. So this is something I would want to work on, right? So moving on to A, that is the assist level. The assist level coincides with how much assistance that you're going to be getting from another person. Generally in the field of occupational therapy, that's going to be the OT. If we're talking just in the health field in general, PTs, OTs, whatever it may be. However much assistance you're getting is what this is entailing over here, okay? And there are a number of assist levels that you can pull from. For instance, we have total assist. This is where 100% of the work is being done by the occupational therapist. Max assist level, which is about 75%, is done by the occupational therapist. Moderate assist level, 50% from the therapist. Min assist level, 25% from the therapist. Then we got modified independent, is the patient using some form of adaptive equipment to help them do the tasks more independently. And then you have independence, so being able to do a task completely on your own with no outside prompts of any sort, or hands-on, whatever it may be. Alright, so next up we have S, specific conditions. This is essentially making sure that we have some specific guidelines that we outline our goal with. For instance, it could be something to do with time, 5, 10, 20 minutes, whatever it may be. It could be something to do with percent completion. So for instance, for like my free throw example, right? I want to be able to shoot maybe 65% in the long term. So that's something that I want to work on and something I want to build up to. And then finally T, so that's timeline, making sure that we are on course for a specific and specified time that we want to complete this goal by. Having a timeline helps us to track progress and move along in an efficient way. So my short-term goal is Cam will complete 15 free throws at a 50% make rate with 3 or less verbal prompts by the end of the week. My long-term goal, for instance, could be something like Cam will complete 50 free throw shots at a 65% make rate with no assistance by the end of the month. Alright, so the second goal setting method is called the SMART goal. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timeline or time-based. You may have already seen this type of goal setting method at some point in time in your life. This is one of the most common goal setting methods that is out there, and it's also one of the most effective. So in breaking down what SMART goals are, we can start from the top. So S being specific, right? So we always want to make sure that our goals are specific so we know exactly what it is that we need to work on. Measurable, making sure that it is quantifiable in a specific way. Whether it is percent completion, time, attempts, whatever it may be, we just want to make sure that we have something quantifiable and objective to work towards. Achievable. We want to make sure that we're being realistic about our goals. We want to make sure that we're not saying that, oh, we will be able to jump over the moon or something wild like that. We want to make sure that's relevant. Is it focused on achieving our main goal in mind, right? Is it relevant to us? And if we're talking about in the field of occupational therapy, is it relevant to the person in the sense that is it focusing on an occupation that they would like to work on? And then finally, timeline. Again, making sure that we have this all time-based so that we're working as efficiently as possible to progress towards that goal. Alright, so my example for this one is also, again, based on me. So focusing on that leisure occupation of basketball again. Maybe I want to work on layups this time, let's say, for instance. My layups aren't that good. Alright, so my goal could be that Cam will make 80% of his layups on 50 attempts from both sides by the end of the month. So breaking it down again, how is it specific? I'm working on my layup specifically for my game, correct? The measurable, we're saying 80% on 50 attempts. Achievable. Is it achievable? I currently make maybe 65% of my layups. So it is achievable in the sense that I will be able to upgrade by the end of the month. Totally achievable, I know it is. Relevant. It is relevant to my leisure occupation of basketball. And then timeline. Obviously, I want to do it by the end of the month. I think it's totally possible by the end of the month to achieve this goal. Don't you think? Alright, so it looks like I'm going to have to make a second video because this went way longer than I thought it would. So, yeah. So this is going to be another two-parter, y'all. Another two-parter. Hope you continue to have a beautiful rest of your day. Wishing you wellness through occupation and take care, y'all.